You cannot heal the Earth if you haven't healed yourself. Global temperatures are nearing a point of no return. A psychological storm called eco-anxiety is becoming the most common fear among today's youth. Climate change is no longer a distant future. It's the reality we wake up to every morning. But here's what most people have never been told. This planet doesn't just mirror carbon, it mirrors our collective energetic frequency. Every thought you nurture, every emotion you repeat, every fear you leave unresolved, shapes the climate outside. As long as the human mind operates from fear, no amount of technological solutions can save the world. This video won't teach you how to plant trees, go vegan, or buy solar panels. This video is an invitation to enter the deepest transformation journey, where you're not just saving the Earth, you're remembering who you truly are. The Earth has a fever, but this is not just a physical fever, it's a spiritual one. You might call it climate change. But if you look closely, you'll see. This is actually consciousness change. Scientists have warned we have less than a decade before global temperatures cross the 1.5 degrees Celsius threshold, a point beyond which the consequences will become irreversible. Record heat waves are scorching Europe. Permafrost is melting at unprecedented speed. Entire ecosystems, oceans, forests, climates, seasons are collapsing in unison. But pause for a moment and ask, why is everything happening all at once? Could it be that the Earth is responding to something much deeper? Across all ancient spiritual traditions, from the Egyptian pyramids to Sufi mysticism, from the Vedas to Hermetic teachings, there is one universal law: as within, so without. This is not just philosophy, it's the blueprint of reality itself. If the human mind is fragmented, fearful and panicked, then the planet we live on becomes the amplifier of those frequencies. Many think spiritual awakening is a private, internal journey, but the truth is, when you awaken, you uplift the entire ecosystem around you. Not because you take grand actions, but because your frequency begins to resonate with a new energetic field. Conversely, when billions live unconsciously, in consumption, disconnection, and numbness, that field too accumulates and eventually mirrors itself in climate, ecosystems, and society. Imagine this: a person who carries fear will choose to control. A nation driven by greed will exploit until depletion. A civilization that hasn't healed within will build its future on invisible anxiety. Do you see? The climate isn't just heating up from carbon, it's electrically charged by a collective consciousness that remains unhealed. So the real question is not just, how many more trees should we plant? But, what kind of vibration are we feeding our minds with every single day? This is not an alternative view, it's a complementary one, a perspective that both quantum science and ancient traditions have long pointed toward. If everything is energy, then the climate is energy too. And energy responds to the frequencies we live in, think in, and feel every second. So, to begin healing the Earth, you don't have to go far. You simply have to turn inward. You don't live on the Earth. You live within the Earth. You're not standing on the outside, watching the planet spin. You are part of the very body that is trembling. Just like the cells in your body are unaware they are liver, heart, or skin, you too may have forgotten. You are a living cell inside a system far more intelligent than your personal mind can grasp. Earth is a living being, a field of consciousness. It is not just crust, atmosphere, or oceans. It has an emotional field, it has memory, it has frequency, and you are part of its nervous system. Every time you generate a thought, even if you never speak it, your energy field updates. When you send love, it ripples outward. When you carry unresolved wounds, the planet feels that. Not in a vague or mystical way, but through frequency resonance. You are one of 8 billion vibrations contributing to the collective information field. So, if you live in stress, in haste, consuming to fill an inner void, you're not just harming yourself, you're overheating the entire system. Science has confirmed this in multiple fields. The HeartMath Institute has shown that the human heart's electromagnetic field can influence the Earth's magnetic field. Neuroscience proves that chronic negative emotions create high beta brain waves that constrict the brain, just as the planet constricts during energetic storms. Quantum physics reveals that intentional observation changes outcomes. So what happens when 8 billion people observe the world through fear? This is why spiritual awakening is no longer just a personal choice. It's a collective responsibility. When one person heals, it's no longer just self-help. It's the release of a knot in the planetary nervous system. You may not change the world by writing a book, inventing a breakthrough, or leading a nation. But you can become a healed cell. A cell calm enough not to disrupt the system. A cell capable of emitting healing waves, even in stillness. A cell infused with presence, awareness, and compassion. And just like the human body, sometimes all it takes is one awakened stem cell for the entire immune system to respond. You don't have to do much. You just have to return to your healthy blueprint. When you are grounded, the earth finds stability. When you awaken, the earth stops convulsing. You are a cell. You are a heartbeat. You are part of a living being that is waiting for you to send healing waves back home. The phrase saving the world sounds grand. It shows up everywhere, in movies, media, and activist movements. People march in the streets, raise banners, sign petitions, go vegan, plant trees, protest policies. All of it is admirable. But there's one truth that needs to be said, even if it makes you uncomfortable. You cannot heal the world with the same energy that hurt it. If you act from panic, you spread panic. If you fight from fear, you amplify fear. If you try to save others, the planet or the system, while inside you are still wounded, angry, and disconnected, then every ounce of energy you emit will fail to truly heal anything. This is the deeper paradox that few dare to face. We are trying to fix the world with the very mindset that broke it. Albert Einstein once said, "No problem can be solved from the same level of consciousness that created it." You cannot heal the planet through frantic action. You can only heal it through inner transformation. Take a closer look at environmental activists. Some inspire through love, but others exhaust us with rage and judgment. The difference isn't in what they do, it's in the frequency they emit. Frequency doesn't lie, it's the original signal. It travels faster than any action, word, or media campaign. And you, like everyone else, are generating that signal every single day. You post about the environment, but then mindlessly consume, compare yourself, and live under pressure. You support animal rights, but feel furious when others aren't awake like you. The issue isn't your actions, it's your inner drive. This is not a criticism, it's a remembrance. Saving the world is not some grand mission, it is a realignment of vibration. You don't need to shout awareness into the world. You just need to become still enough to become a solid wave pillar in a time of chaos. You don't need to prove your love for the planet by marching in the streets. Just breathe gently every morning and carry genuine gratitude through every heartbeat. Because when your energy becomes clean, light, anchored, the resonance field amplifies on its own. This is not a spiritual promise. It is the physics of energy waves. What you truly are will be felt. No need to prove it. No need to carry the weight. No need to scream save. Because sometimes the planet doesn't need you to save it. It just needs you to stop interfering with noise. Have you ever heard of the Golden Age? A time when humanity lived in harmony with nature. No wars, no oppression, no energetic disruption. In Hinduism, it's called Satya Yuga. In Greek mythology, it was the first age, when humans lived like gods. In the Bible, it was Eden. In Mayan culture, it was the era before the spiral of time was reversed. You may think it's just legend, a dream that never really existed. But what if all these ancient traditions were pointing to the same structure? Not a fairy tale, but a recurring energetic cycle of the planet and human consciousness. According to the Indian Yuga cycle, the entirety of human history is divided into 4 phases. Satya Yuga, the age of truth. Treta Yuga, the age of diminishing light. Dvapara Yuga, the age when conflict begins. Kali Yuga, the age of darkness, materialism, and separation. And if you're alive right now, in 2025, congratulations. You are at the crossover point between Kali Yuga and a new cycle. That's why the world feels chaotic. Not because it's collapsing, but because the old energy structure is being dismantled. You're witnessing the breakdown of belief systems, the questioning of religions, the fall of science as an absolute truth, technology outpacing ethics, people turning to meditation. This is not random. It's the signal of a transitional phase, from darkness to light. Like the sun rising after a long night, it doesn't appear instantly. It first paints streaks of pink and gold along the horizon. Collective awakening is just like that. And if you're feeling disconnected from the old world, uninterested in consumption, competition, a deep sense inside that there must be something more than this, then you are not strange. You are not lost. You are remembering that you once lived in the light, remembering that humanity wasn't born to repay debts, work endlessly, and die, remembering that the Golden Age is not a destination, it's a frequency, and most importantly, you don't need to wait for it to arrive. You just need to realign your energy to live within it, right now. Because if the Kali Yuga is collective darkness, then every awakened individual is a candle relighting the memory of light. And when enough candles are lit, there's no need to wait for the dawn. It will rise from within. We've become used to measuring everything by action. How many tasks we complete, how many systems we change, how much we reduce emissions, how many trees we plant, how much waste we recycle, how much meat we avoid. All of that matters. All of it is necessary. But if we only focus on the numbers, we'll miss what truly determines the outcome: frequency. Because action is merely the outer expression of inner vibration. And vibration is what interacts directly with the architecture of reality. In a famous quantum physics experiment, the double slit, scientists discovered that a particle of light behaves either as a wave or a particle, depending on whether it's being observed. When no one is watching, it exists as energy, fluid and invisible. But the moment someone observes it, it freezes, becoming a specific point. The consciousness of the observer influences reality. What's the conclusion? Reality doesn't exist independently of you. It responds to your state of awareness. It bends to the frequency you emit, whether you're aware of it or not. These revelations may sound groundbreaking to modern science, but mystics and ancient wisdom keepers have said this for millennia. Hermes Trismegistus wrote, "All is mind, the universe is mental." The Vedas affirm, "This world is the result of inner sound." So let's bring this back to you. If you perform a good deed, but you're filled with frustration, urgency, or a need for recognition, you're still producing disruptive waves. On the other hand, if you simply sit in silence for 10 minutes each morning with genuine gratitude and a grounded heart, you're tuning your personal frequency and simultaneously influencing the collective energy field. This isn't just intuition. At the HeartMath Institute, scientists have recorded measurable changes in Earth's magnetic field when thousands of people meditate together in compassion. We're not just biological organisms, we are broadcast towers of energy. Your frequency, even in silence, is constantly transmitting. And the Earth is listening. So the real question is no longer, what have you done to save the world? But what frequency are you vibrating at? Someone acting out of anger, no matter how noble their cause, is still planting a heavy vibration into the shared field. Someone acting from love, even in the smallest gesture, is opening a new energetic doorway for those around them. The planet doesn't need more slogans. It needs more quiet waves. It doesn't need more people shouting, "Awaken." It needs more souls quiet enough to listen. Where do you begin? It doesn't have to be dramatic. Each morning, instead of checking your phone, take 3 slow breaths and whisper, "I am harmonic resonance." When you eat, send a stream of gratitude to the food, because it's not just calories, it's living energy. When you walk, imagine each step leaving behind a soft trail of light, not a carbon footprint. That's not just imagination, it's a frequency alignment technique. If reality responds to vibration, then your clear, peaceful mind is the most profound gift you can offer this planet. Modern humans have developed a strange reflex. Whenever something feels wrong, we instantly want to do something. Change, act, fix, call for reform, save. It's the instinctive reaction of a mind conditioned to run on the energy of urgency. But few realize there is something even more urgent than action. Stopping, not to give up, but to listen, to realize that much of what we call efforts to change are, in truth, just efforts to escape the helplessness we haven't yet dared to face. We act because we're afraid. We save because we can't bear the feeling of being unable to save. We do because if we stop doing, we might have to face the inner emptiness, the one that no social movement, slogan, or app can ever fill. And that is where true healing begins, when you stop long enough to face what you've always avoided. Wounds do not dissolve through action. They melt only in presence. Emotions aren't processed through mental effort. They are transformed when fully seen, without judgment, without fixing. The outer chaos cannot settle if the inner world is still in turmoil. And you cannot soothe this planet if your mind is still bracing. Try something simple. Each day, set aside 3 minutes to do absolutely nothing. No phone, no thoughts, no goals, just sit and breathe and feel. The breath goes in, the breath goes out. No need to change a thing, just witness. Beneath the noise, you'll begin to notice a pocket of stillness. And beneath that stillness, something will begin to soften. That is you. Not the version you're trying to become, but the one you've always been, covered under layers of striving. Healing doesn't arrive like a tidal wave. It arrives like a gentle exhale. It comes the moment you stop fighting long enough to realize you were never truly disconnected. You're not disconnected from the world. You're only disconnected from yourself. And in the very moment you pause, feel yourself, and breathe out softly. The whole planet exhales with you. The silence inside you is the first sound wave of a planet longing to be reborn. This planet is not only being devoured by power plants, cars, or smokestacks, it's also being digested every day through what you eat. This is not just a moral debate about animals, not just the popularity of veganism, not just a trend toward clean living. This is a story about vibration. Everything you eat carries an energetic memory. A piece of meat from an animal that died in panic carries the frequency of fear, resistance, and suffering. A bunch of greens grown in love, watered with clean water, warmed by the sun, and touched by consciousness, carries the vibration of peaceful life. Science is beginning to catch up with this. Studies in Japan, under the lens of Dr. Masaru Emoto, revealed water molecules change structure in response to words and emotional frequencies. Water exposed to words like love formed harmonious crystals. Water exposed to hate turned distorted and chaotic. So if your body is 70% water, and you are ingesting distorted vibrations, what do you think is happening inside you? Moreover, a 2018 study by Oxford University concluded a plant-based diet could reduce an individual's carbon footprint by up to 73%. That means, just by changing what you put on your plate, you are directly altering your energetic footprint on this planet. No one is demanding that you become fully vegan. No one is judging your taste or traditions. But one thing is undeniable. Every time you put food in your mouth, you are voting for a frequency. And that vote, once a day, once per meal, is silently reshaping this world. You don't need to wave banners. Just eat with awareness. You don't need to rally the crowds. Just sit before your bowl of food and know what energy you are inviting into your cells. Because in the end, you're not just digesting food, you're absorbing the meaning of life. A tomato is not just nutrition, it is the memory of the sun. A leafy green is not just fiber, it is a map of Mother Earth's energy. A sip of water doesn't just soothe your throat, it flows through you like ancient light, reborn in the moment you drink it with gratitude. So next time you choose what to eat, pause for half a second and ask, what vibration am I bringing into my body? Am I becoming a vessel of healing frequencies or a silent reservoir of unresolved reactions? You don't need to be perfect, just aware. A small shift in how you eat is also a massive shift in the Earth's vibrational field. Because eating is not just about staying alive, it is choosing the kind of life you want to radiate. Here's a truth few dare to face. You cannot change the world if you are still living the way the old world taught you to live. But no, you don't need to overthrow the system, move off-grid, or ignite a global revolution. Because every real revolution begins with one person changing how they live. Not with violence, but with frequency. Not through shouting, but through daily habits. Below are 4 simple ways of living that carry a powerful resonance ripple. You don't have to give everything up. You're simply invited to come back to yourself and tune your personal vibration in a chaotic world. 1. Rethink. Pause before you act. Before you buy something, eat something, or say something, ask yourself, what frequency am I doing this from? Is it love or fear? Connection or lack? One moment of mindful questioning can shift the entire energetic trajectory of your action. Because it's not what you do that determines the vibration. It's the state you're in when you do it. 2. Reduce. Let go of what no longer nourishes you. You don't have to go minimalist to follow a trend, but you can live more lightly. by clearing out the noise in your daily life. Reduce unconscious consumption. Reduce your morning news scrolling. Reduce the need to have more. Be more. Prove more. This planet isn't suffocating from lack of resources. It's drowning in excess born from fear. When you start cutting out external clutter, you begin to hear the whisper inside. 3. Refuse. Say no to what no longer resonates. You don't have to fight the old world. You just have to stop feeding it. Refuse to do it just because everyone does. Refuse to move at a frantic pace. Refuse to believe the old story that says you're not enough, so you must become more. Refusing isn't resistance. It's how you reset your energetic boundaries. The more clearly you say no, the more purely you become a channel for new life to move through you. 4. Radiate. Emit the frequency you want the world to feel. You don't have to convince anyone. You don't have to wake anyone up. You just have to become the frequency you believe in. When you walk into a room with soft eyes, steady presence, and peaceful breath, you've already changed the vibration of that space. No miracle needed, no title required, just you, truly there, with energy that is clean, clear, and full of love. If every person lived by these 4 truths, no crowd needed, no organization necessary, just one person a day, living differently, the world wouldn't change through a war, but through millions of quiet frequencies, spreading silently, steadily, and irreversibly. And maybe you won't see the results right away, but you'll know, deep in your heart, I am living as a point of light. I am breathing as a channel of light. I am not fighting the old world. I am broadcasting the new one. Maybe you once believed that Earth is where you live, a small green planet, fragile and alone, drifting in a vast galaxy, a sphere heating up, running dry, wounded by the very species it shelters, a place that needs to be rescued before it's too late. But what if that picture, true as it seems, is just a tiny fragment of a much deeper truth? Imagine this instead. Earth is not just something you're standing on. It is a living being with consciousness, memory, and its own frequency field. In ancient cultures, Earth was never just terrain. She was sacred. She was Gaia, Pachamama, Bhumi Devi. Not just matter, but alive, aware, feeling, and remembering. And what Gaia truly longs for is not for you to save her, but for you to remember her. Not with the intellect, but with a subtle knowing in your bloodstream, where you suddenly feel, I was never separate from the earth. I am a fragment of her consciousness. You are a thread of ancient memory, walking in human form. This remembrance doesn't live in books. It's etched in your DNA, in theta brainwaves, in the moment your bare feet touch the soil, and you feel something deeply familiar, yet unnameable. And every time you pause, fully present, open-hearted, that memory begins to return. Softly, quietly, not loud like the news, not fast like an algorithm, just a silent wave of knowing. I once lived in harmony with earth, water, fire, and wind. I once knew how to speak to stone, to forest, to sky. And now, I'm starting to remember. You don't need to save the earth like a hero. You simply need to peel back the layers of forgetting that have covered your sacred bond with her. You don't have to do anything. Just become the awakening memory. Because the truth is, every time you remember who the earth truly is, she remembers who you are. And in that moment, when 2 consciousnesses meet, through a glance, a breath, a footstep pressed gently into soil, there is no need for salvation anymore. Only a sacred realization remains. I was never apart from her. I am a living part of her body, and I am here so she may be reborn through me, one heartbeat at a time. You don't need to become someone else. You only need to return to yourself, but at a deeper level, to the version of you that Earth has always been waiting for. More still, more authentic, more present. No more messages are needed. No more reasons. You already know. Through intuition, through every sensation in your heart. That, if you change, the world changes with you. Not through what you say, but through the frequency you no longer emit. The frequency of panic, of running, of endlessly trying to prove something. And through the quiet emergence of new frequencies, acceptance, connection, peace. To close this journey, you don't need to do anything. Just sit with me for a few breaths. Gently close your eyes, if you can, or simply exhale deeply, as if you've just set down an invisible weight. Breathe in slowly and exhale softly. No effort, no change, just presence. In that silence, imagine this. You are sitting beneath a great tree. The trunk is you. Its roots dive deep into Mother Earth. Its crown stretches toward the light. And each leaf is an aspect of your life, trembling in the breeze. You don't need to save the tree. You are the tree. And if you are strong, the leaves will heal. If your breath is steady, the earth will feel a new rhythm of life. Now imagine. You place the entire planet gently between your palms. No grasping, no pressure, just a soft holding. And from your hands, you send a wave, love, gratitude, peace. No words needed, just feeling. Because every wave of energy you emit has already been received, and the earth is beginning to respond, not with thunder, but with a breath, a soft return from within you. You've just completed a circle. And from this moment forward, you are no longer someone living on the earth. You are a part of the earth, living again through you. And if something in this video touched you, then perhaps a part of your ancient memory is ready to ripple outward. No need for loud sharing, no need for declarations. Just keep this vibration flowing. And if you feel called to go even deeper, stay with this channel, because together we'll keep exploring the hidden layers of reality, where energy, memory, and consciousness meet to shape a new world. You are not alone. You are just beginning to remember.